Illinois weather, but we've all lived through it and we know what it's like and we know how to handle it. And so those of us who know how to handle it are here, but it is a Saturday and we know there's a lot going on, but I know you have a lot in your time that your lifestyle that you have to handle, but I appreciate you coming out. Again, I'm Sherman Jenkins, and I am currently Alderman-At-Large here in the city of Aurora. And I just want to let you know that a little bit about myself, basically also with regards to my platform and some of the things that I'm going to be talking about. And we're going to do a number of these. We're calling them the Power Hour, where we, for 1 hour, come and talk with regards to issues that affect all of us, but also to be able to mention the fact that our campaign motto that we use and we're going to use through this campaign is a quality of life that we all can believe in. And that is something that we truly believe in from the standpoint that this city, the second largest city in the state of Illinois, has so much to offer. And there's more that it can offer. And I want to continue to be part of that as I work with the administration and my fellow aldermen to make sure that we all have a quality of life that is wonderful for each and every resident of the city of Aurora. Now, one of my key cornerstones of what I'm going to be running on has to do with economic development. And why is that? Well, for about 25 years, I served as Economic Development Director for the city of Aurora. I came to Aurora in 1990 when I started with the city, but I've lived here in Aurora since the early 80s. And I remember Aurora as being one that people would talk about as being an old blue-collar town. You had all of the industries here and the jobs and people talking about how everyone is blue-collar and that they are this is just a blue-collar town, and that's the way it is, and that's always how it's always going to be. Well, I just didn't believe that. I felt and saw that Aurora had a potential, especially when you look at the fact that it's off of 4 interchanges off of I-88. When you look at the fact that we have our own municipal airport, the one thing about that airport is if the president flies into Chicago, okay, I'm not going to touch any of those president jokes and leave that alone. All right, but if the president flies into Chicago, then airports outside of Chicago have to shut down, like the DuPage Airport. The Aurora Airport doesn't have to shut down. Planes can still fly in. I think we can, planes the size of 727s can land out at the Aurora Airport. A lot of corporate offices for airlines are out at the Aurora Airport. So with that, with the interchanges, with our own large water system, that we have the best tasting water in the region, and we've had that for quite a number of years. I can go on and on and on with regards to how we are very fortunate here in the city of Aurora. Now, we've had our troubles in the past, and we remember that, but I feel that if we are on the cusp of many good things, additional good things that can happen here. So economic development is one. And the reason for economic development is we need revenue. We got to continue to increase revenue so we don't have to rely on raising taxes or increasing the levy. We need to be able to have economic development where we bring in more revenue. When companies come in to invest in Aurora, they must be able to come in, be able to go through our process in an expedient manner, get open, and start creating revenue. And if that is lacking in any way, we're going to have a problem. We have done a lot over the past year and a half to improve that. And we can do more. So I want to continue to work with staff, because I worked with many of them when I was here in economic development. And I want to continue to work with them to be able to improve that. We have a new development services center downtown. What we're looking to do is to have it where you got one-stop shopping. A developer comes in, he can meet with the inspections, permit, engineering, all in one place. Not having to drive all around our great city, but they got one place where they can do that. The other thing I'd like to be able to do is to be able to work with staff to push on a program that we were looking to start before I left the city, and it was called Corporate Campus Aurora. Now we're sitting here off of interchange, Farnsworth Interchange. How many interchanges affect Aurora? Yola Road, Farnsworth, Lake Street, Route 31, Orchard Road, and Galena, or Butterfield Road. Those are interchanges where we can have development. Now, one of the interchanges that we're sitting right off of here is where at Farnsworth, we have the outlet mall. And trust me, that was not an easy thing working 6.5 years to try to bring that mall here to Aurora. Because there were people who would say, an upscale outlet mall in Aurora? Nobody in Aurora has any money to go to an outlet mall. And we had to tell them, well, it's not just for us. It's going to draw people from 80 and 90 miles away. And so what has happened? The mall is open. It provides revenue to us. And you may hear people saying, Aurora doesn't get anything from the outlet mall. They don't know what they're talking about. We get revenue, sales tax and property tax and jobs at that outlet mall. And now it has expanded. So with that, those are the kind of things that we want to look at our other interchanges. Yola Road interchange. There's about 100 acres there for development. Now we have a number of, that ties into the aspect of one of my other topics is going to be technology. We have an 80-something mile broadband fiber network throughout the city. And at that interchange, we have the data center for the Chicago Board of Trade that sits there. It's called Cyrus One. And that company is just among the many that are going to be able to go there because of what we did beforehand. And we can do more. And so with that, bringing more revenue, we go, and I want to call it Corporate Campus Aurora, where we look and go after corporations to put their headquarters at these interchanges. We got to be in the game. We've always had been in the game. We just got to step up our game. And if we can do that, we can bring more revenue. We can bring more jobs. Because right now, we're at one of the lowest levels in terms of unemployment here in Aurora that we've had in the history of Aurora. And that's wonderful. But we can always get more, right? I don't think anybody step back and say, nah, we don't need, that's enough. No, we always need more. But also understand that Aurora being the second largest city, we also have our suburbs. Yes, Aurora has suburbs. Montgomery, North Aurora, Oswego. Those and people say, how can they be a suburb of Aurora? We'll go to our good friend Webster, that dictionary, and it says a suburb, a small village outside a large metropolitan city. Aurora is the second largest city. Oswego is a small village. North Aurora is a small village. Therefore, it is a what? Suburb. Okay. So those are just some of the things that I'm going to continue to talk about and to advocate for as we go through this campaign. So as you know, the election is April 2nd, and there won't be a primary. Myself and two other opponents are running, and we're out here to be able to tout our efforts with regards to what we want to do for you, the residents here in our city of Aurora. Focus on is housing and community development, which involves our neighborhoods. I mean, think about it. We've got Riddle Highlands, we've got Stonebridge, we got White Eagle, we got Caroline. These are neighborhoods that are the backbone of this great city. And they must continue to be able to thrive. You live in some of those suburbs. You know what you need to be able to do in order to raise your family and live a life that you can be proud of. We want to continue to work to make sure that there is opportunities where organizations can work in their neighborhoods to be able to do the things and provide the services that are needed. Services that are very critical, whether it's for young people, because our young people, we got to continue to show them that there are opportunities here. Continue to show them that they have choices. And that all of this is tied into that, as well as working with our seniors. Our seniors provide a wealth of information, and we've got to be able to let them feel that we we value them, that they are important to us, and not that we're just trying to throw them off and say, okay, you've done what you've done, go off and leave us alone. No, I believe that that is a very important aspect because they provide a lot of insights. Since I have been here, I've had my mentors. Those mentors are people who have given me some insights over the years that have helped me to stay out of trouble, to be able to provide me with some insights on some direction that we needed to go, and also to be able to show us, hey, this is a direction, don't make this mistake we made, this is the way you can be able to go. The other thing I want to mention that I want to work towards is public safety. Our police department has been doing a fantastic job, but we know that, again, we can do more. We must continue to work with them. We must continue to have community policing. Community policing is something that has really helped us to turn things around. How many of you remember the late 90s here in Aurora? Some of the difficulties that we had. We've gotten past that because it was people like you who got involved. It was people who worked with the police department, that worked with our other governmental agencies to be able to turn it around to the point where we have very, very low crime. We have a situation where we don't hear the things we were hearing before. We are hearing positive things about our great city, but we got to stay vigilant. We've got to work with young people. We've got to work with our police department. We got to make sure that there are a number of things that they know that they can count on us. And that's where we need people working in the community like yourselves. Be involved. I want to continue to advocate for that. Get involved. I don't like being a bystander. I don't want to stand back and watch other people and say, oh, look what so-and-so's doing. Oh, look what they did. Or look what, no, well, get involved. There's a number of organizations that have a lot of things that they do, and it's very important to us. Education and workforce development, very important. Our education system continues to improve. I want to continue to work with all of our school systems to be able to make sure our young people have the opportunities and to know that they have more than just one choice, that there are many choices. There are organizations out there that are doing a lot to help our young people, but we've got to make sure that they are partnered up, that they know about, to create that link. And if we can create that link and help them, that keeps us low crime, young people who excel. And then also we want to work to make young people feel they want to come back and live here because there are opportunities here. That's what we need to be able to do. And fiscal responsibility. I want to continue to work with my fellow aldermen and the mayor to make sure that we stay fiscally responsible to you, your tax dollars. We don't want to be doing it where you are and looking at us in any way, shape, form, or fashion and saying, oh my God, you guys are just spending like drunken sailors. No, we haven't done that. We won't do that. And I will be one of those who will continue to advocate to make sure that we stay fiscally responsible. I want to also be able to make sure that we look at, again, as I said in the beginning, from economic development, revenue. Revenue is key. We must continue to bring new sources of revenue to this town, and fiber, technology, those are areas that are there. It's the wonderful thing is just up the street there is Aldi, the food grocery store. That's their IT headquarters. That they moved here to Aurora because of the fiber network that we have here. So again, those are just some of the things, but again, these power hours are going to give us the opportunity to come and talk to you, to let you know what we're thinking. But now at this point, I'd like to turn it over to you, to hear from you. What are some of the things that are on your mind that I can be able to work towards and keep in my mind as I work with the council, work with the mayor's office to be able to continue to make Aurora to have a quality of life that we all can believe in. So if anyone has any questions, I'm going to pass the mic. You want me to pass the mic? Well, he's doing Facebook Live. So.
Aurora didn't shovel the snow early enough for us to drive.
Good question.
Give it back.
So what happened this morning in the breakdown in the transportation?
Well, I don't know so much in terms of it was a breakdown, because as I got here, I saw our snow removal crews already out. If you were out like me at about 7 o'clock, you probably didn't see it, but it was still snowing. So, but rest assured, our streets department, when you go out there now, they're doing what they have to do. So, you know, I know that they have continued to be number one in this area, and I think, you know, that's not something that everyone looks at and says, hey, we slack on. We don't. And I have to commend our snow removal crew and our employees for the work that they do. So it's happening. When you leave this event, you will be able to go out there and drive the speed limit. All right. Any other questions?
I have one. I've done some studying on economic development, and I see this happening in other places. How do you raise, you know, become more artsy, more developed, bring in high work without socially marginalizing the blue collar, the poor, the people who are coming here through world relief? Because I see that happening, several things at different meetings. Even the test scores will go up if we get rid of the poor and world relief and things like that. So how do you bring quality without marginalizing our people?
It's a good question. And one of the things that we see in terms of the development and cultural development and things that are going on is that there are people who, from all genres of life, that are coming and being involved. And one of the aspects is that you got to let that flow. You let young people come in, and people who are talented, they come in and they're seeing. There was a slogan we used to use in the business and economic development. You're known by the company you keep. And so if other companies come in, you get others to follow them. And that's what happened right now in terms of the cultural things that we're seeing downtown and throughout the city. And it's going to continue to happen because people see the opportunities. And so it's one of those where people saying, well, you want a high level. I think we're getting a high level, and it's going to continue to be that way. And we just have to believe in it. We got to let people invest, and we also got to continue to communicate, to talk to one another. It's not about my silo or his silo or her silo. It's communicating and making sure that we can be able to allow everyone to come in and realize what they see here going on in Aurora. Great question. Anyone else?
My comments are more or less, I know Mr. Jenkins for a long time, and we worked on that, assist him in that shopping mall out there. But I want to tell you, this is a good man up there. He do what he said he's going to do, and I back him 100%. You don't know me, but I'm for Mr. Jenkins. If you guys not work with this man, work with him. He does what he said he's going to do, and he back up what he's going to do. And I want to thank Mr. Jenkins for working with me, not working with me, but assisting in developing that area by the Royal Shopping Mall. You walk off of my property, you walk on that Royal Shopping Mall property, and that's been a good area out there for me, okay? I've been there since 1973. So I want to thank you, Mr. Jenkins, for your help and being a good man and being a good alderman, okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. I appreciate that greatly. Anyone else?
Good morning. I first want to thank Mr. Sherman Jenkins for everything he's already done from the time that I met him, talking about businesses in Aurora, the growth of the businesses, and that's what I look forward to. I think we need to have more African American businesses in this city. When I see a lot of African American people that have gifts, I reach out to them to give them knowledge on how to get started. And that's what I would like to see more with you, Mr. Jenkins. I want to see us take a person and educate them more on what they need to do in this city to start a business or to utilize their gifts. The Bible says your gift will make room for you. And I know you see, because you see the one in me. So I want to see that more in our community, because I see that our community is suffering with our youth, with the violence that's increasing, domestic violence, and also with the gangs in our city. I see it in the young people. So our churches also need to reach out to the youth. I know David has a mentoring program, but David can't do it all. It's going to take everybody to utilize the gifts that's in you to work in our community. And that's why I'm supporting you today, because you have reached out to us to try to help us from the beginning, day one. So I know there's something about you that God is revealing to us, that you're going to help this, going to help the city of Aurora. And today I'm here to support everything that your efforts are. Call your community center. I'm the president of that organization, and we are supporting Sherman Jenkins.
All right, thank you very much for those words. Yes, another question.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I don't know if I need this mic. Dear guys, I'm going to hold it way over there because I'm really loud. I would like to say, first of all, we as a family support Sherman Jenkins. And as a business owner, I am new to the Aurora area and a double business, non-for-profit and for-profit. And what I can say is we went through all the necessary modalities to get our business up and running. We did our mayor conversations, we had our meetings with the police department, and they were your standard meetings. But what I can tell you that from all of those meetings to get our business started, Sherman Jenkins became the one person that was our communicator. He kept us connected to the administration of this city. He kept us connected to business development. He kept us committed and connected to young people and their families. And because he kind of texts me opportunities in real time for our kids, we're able to be available to them in real time. So my question for you, Alderman Jenkins, is folks don't always get what it means to be at large. I sit here before you, a representative of the Aurora Education Commission, and my position is at large. And I'd like for you to explain what that role means.
All right, in terms of as Alderman-at-Large, number one, and there's two Aldermen-at-Large here in the city of Aurora, myself and Bob O'Connor. Now, we don't have a specific ward. There are 10 wards in the city. We cover the entire city. And so that means if you have a situation in your ward, let's say if you live in Ward 5, like for example, I got a call yesterday afternoon about a situation a person was going through, and they said, well, I was told to call you, and I said, well, number one, who was your ward alderman? Okay, did you call your ward alderman? And they said, yes. I said, okay, well, they're going to get back to you, okay, but to answer the question, we cover the entire city, but if there's a situation where a ward alderman is out of town or sick or ill, then we step in and assist and work until that alderman returns. We also look at things citywide. And so I think in terms of my role in economic development, my role in working with a number of organizations like the Aurora Public Library Foundation and the Interfaith Aurora organization and the Quai County African American Chamber and the Rush Copley Foundation. All of those things put right in my wheelhouse because I've been involved throughout the city. And so being an Alderman-at-Large allows me to see a lot of things that oftentimes other people don't see, people don't know about. So being at large, you have a much larger area, but you also have a much greater opportunity. And so that's how I see it. You have a large area, but you have a greater opportunity to do more for residents in the city of Aurora. I'm going to try to keep us to the time that we said in terms of a power hour. So those who haven't asked a question, yes.
I've known Sherman, and the Bible says you know a tree by the fruit it bears. I knew him quite prior to Aurora. He comes from excellent stock, and one of the things, as intelligent as he is, he doesn't know the meaning of is marginalization. He does not know the meaning of that. Never has. Though we may not see each other on the basis of which that we did growing up in West Woodlawn, the hood, he never ever has marginalized myself. He can be in a room with the mayor, pastor, city leaders, etc., and he always embraces. So I'm sure that's something of which that he has carried on to his career, and you couldn't do better.
Thank you very much. We got one more question, and then we're going to end it. I'm going to stick around to answer any questions anyone have and whatnot. We got still plenty of coffee, rolls, and all back here. And then also, if you are then so inclined to have lunch, Mike and Denise's is now open, and you can be able to grab lunch and support this wonderful establishment here in the city of Aurora. But one more question.
I have one more question, and it's not just an Aurora problem. I'm everywhere, from the people that meet out at Pomegranate to the people that meet at Colonial, the neighborhood meetings, Aurora Women's Club, the Women's League of Voters, the different fractions of the Democratic Party. How are we going to be not only diverse but inclusive?
Great question. How? We're already doing it. Look at Aurora. Look at Aurora. Okay? I mean, we're one of the most diverse cities in this region, in the northern Illinois region. But how do we continue to do it? By being open, by communicating, by allowing people to come. And if we just stick to the motto, a quality of life that we all can believe in. And if we continue that approach, this city will continue to be one of the best in this region, and it will continue to grow. I'm expecting Aurora to top out in population at about close to 250,000 people. We still have land available, but we have, if you look at the demographics and the breakdown, the Indian American community, the Hindu community, the Sikh community, Hispanics, African Americans, Asians, it continues to grow. Out there on Route 59 and New York Street is going to be the Asian market. They're investing millions of dollars in our city. Yeah. We've got, with that, additional opportunities that's going to bring more and more people here. And we all can live here together and prosper. And that's what we want to be able to do. So again, I want to thank all of you for coming out this morning. I want to remind you that we have our website. It's up and ready to go. That's www.jenkinsforaurora.com, as well as our Facebook page. Please go and like us on Facebook, Sherman Jenkins for Alderman-At-Large on Facebook. If you want to be able to volunteer, you can sign up. If you want to make donations, you can. You can go to our website. And those of you who like to take a yard sign, feel free. And again, I want to thank you for coming out. Thank you for braving the weather, but it's Northern Illinois, and we know how to handle it. So let's go out there and be safe. So thank you very much. Have a great morning.